So this is now Paul Tavares' interface. Jim Bob and Mark, did you have a chance to see his video before we jumped into this? Because he's not here to represent himself.
I saw it.
Jim Bob, did you get a chance?
No, I didn't. So this will be the first time I see it.
Okay. Let me get some of this WebEx stuff out of the way here so that I can make some room and go through it. First of all, what you've got here in his interface is he's got the spotlight. Obviously, it's moving through a system here. And Mark Filliman, you can interrupt me anytime that you like if you want to.
Yeah, I actually like this. Again, they're missing images. I actually have this on my own blog, but I do have the images, which makes it much more impactful. I don't like the right-hand navigation. I prefer it on the left-hand side. I don't know why he chose to go right-hand, because it just threw me for a minute. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Jim Bob, if you can see what Mark's talking about in the right-hand panel, when I'm clicking on one of the feeds, it's actually pulling up the content. And I did talk to Paul to see if this is in real time, and actually it is. It's going out and polling this in real time.
That's nice.
That's okay.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the navigation on the right in this case. I think it works because the content that I'm looking for is going to be on the left, and so I don't mind looking at my blog roll being over on the right.
Yeah, same here. That one doesn't bother me at all. Let's click a couple things here. Then I'm going to go to the dashboard to see what we have. Good. For some reason, it's not scrolling, but you can see what he's got here. This is an interesting thing that he's got here. And this is if there's specific feeds that you like. And Mark Anderson, I'm not insulting you by deleting yours. You can delete, or if you like it, let's look at Anders, and if I click the star, it automatically adds that to your dashboard.
Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice.
So I thought that was pretty sweet. Obviously, there needs to be some kind of work on the display of the interface of those because they're kind of small blocks and you can't get much data. But conceptually, I like the idea. Mark, how about you?
Yeah, I conceptually like the idea. I just don't know why I'd want it there for very long. I mean, why do I care if my favorites are there? Yes, it's my favorite, but am I going to keep referring to it over time? I like the functionality. I just think if they were my friends' favorites, it'd be bit more useful.
That's an idea. Jim Bob, any comments on this?
Yeah, I agree. I think from a conceptual standpoint, the first thing I think of is, okay, whenever I'm writing a blog, do I think about the first sentence that I'm writing? Is that going to be descriptive enough to make someone want to click on it? Because if it's not, then it's not going to show up well in this interface. But conceptually, I like the idea of rolling through what's there, and these are my favorites, and these are the things that I'd like to see. But then again, if it is my favorite, I probably have already read a number of the articles, so I really only want to see the latest ones. So I'm not sure if there's a filter on here that rules out the stuff that I've already read, or things past a certain date or something along those lines. Conceptually, though, it's kind of fun. It gives a nice little interface.
I would make it like suggested favorites, or suggested based on looks at what I've read and suggest things based on certain keywords or tags instead of favorites.
Okay. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt since he can't defend himself. I'm looking more at, is this something that could be turned into a useful feature? And I think that we're agreeing that the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and being able, like Mark said, being able to put in there what you want. So right now you can click on a star and you've got your favorite added in. That's real nice. It's real quick. It's real time. It shows up right away. What if I want it to be on, my friends' favorites? What's Mark reading? That's what I want to see. Or what's new with this specific tag? Who's talking about the next version of SharePoint? Those may be the things that I want to put in my favorites so that I'm going to show up on there. Conceptually, though, I like the idea. What you put in, it'd be nice to have some flexibility for the user to be able to choose that.
Well, it reminds me kind of how you can filter your columns in TweetDeck, right? It's almost like we could build filters into these.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mark.
Good point. Yep.
Okay. Let's go over here to the right-hand side again and click the pen here and see what we get. What this does is it actually gives us a way to manage, and this is to, let me Let me change it and get one that's lower in the thing because I'm not getting a display. It's off the page. I think it's probably because I'm not using IE here. So there, this is the way that you edit your feeds individually here. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I like it. At least he's narrowed it down to 3. I think you just still need 1, which is our RSS URL, and it'll pull all the rest of that information. I like it. The only thing I would add here is number of articles I haven't read, a big red number or something, to show that, any kind of notification to say that there's articles I haven't read from some of these feeds. But other than that, it's good.
Nice. Okay, good.
Yeah, I agree on the, let me just put in the RSS URL and you grab everything else, but I still like the ability to edit the stuff. So if I've already imported this and I want to change something on it, I want to edit it, there's information I want to edit on there. I'm probably not going to change the site URL, but I might change the RSS feed if there's a different feed on that URL that I want to pull. But I want the title. I want the ability to be able to pull the title from the RSS feed and then modify it once I want to.
That's a good point. I agree.
Okay. Let's see what's going on here. So we've got this. Mark, anything else that we should be looking at to support this solution? You reviewed it in the video?
Bit. The filter feeds box, what can you do in that? Is that a search, some kind of a search right above Will Rogers? It says filter feeds.
Good. Hold on just a second here.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Where do you see that, Mark?
Look, there's dashboard and then filter feeds. Yeah, right there.
I'm sorry. Sure, let's do ROG. So it's actually a dynamic filter in real time that's showing you the blogs that have that in the name. So if I do SharePoint, like that.
So it's just searching for the blogs, but not the content within the blogs.
That's correct. So following up on that thought, Mark, it seems to me that this might be much more useful over the content itself. So we can dynamically filter hundreds of articles instead of the blogs. Any comments on that?
Yeah, I think that's good. I think even better would be it would just at the top of the list would just show the number of the blogs that have new articles that I haven't read, and the number. If you're going to filter by articles I haven't read, and have those rise to the top automatically, instead of a filter on blogs. And then to your point, the search should be searching the content within each of these blogs, not necessarily the title of the blogs. But with a week to prepare, I think he's done a very good job.
Yeah, Jimbo?
I agree. Nothing else to add on that. I like that interface. I think the search should give you the ability to search within the posts themselves.
Yeah, I want to take a step back here and remind people, not just the judges, but everyone, these solutions were created from scratch with no notice in 1 week. So when we're talking about different functionalities, it's not that we're saying that anything's wrong. It's actually a compliment to say, hey, you're giving us ideas on how we could actually use this. So I want to make sure that everybody's clear on that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I've got
the requirements. Right. So the requirements were to pull in a feed, and
yeah. See, I like
so
this
we're adding all
box
these extra things that we would like.
I think
they're
that's
not
exactly the way you should do it.
This is what we'd like. Yeah.
Let me try that. Hold on just a second. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put in that. And it did dynamically pull everything in.
You got to edit a little bit, but that's okay.
I think that's fine. I'm going to do that. And let's see, it's successful. And now I can go and use that filter box and look for New York Times. Whoops, is it NY? There it is. And we get the latest front page from the New York Times.
That's slick. That's
sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet. I have to agree with Mark Fiddleman, who's been very consistent. I would like to see in all of these the image from those feeds showing up here. It would add so much more to such a dog interface in SharePoint. And I'm not talking about the solution. I'm talking about SharePoint itself. What we're trying to do is make this something that people will want to use. And adding images will definitely do that. All right. Mark, I'm going to start with you on the wrap-up on this. Can you give us your feedback on the overall solution on this one?
Yeah, I think very good. I like a lot of what he's done here, some unique functionality. I just think some of it needs to be fine-tuned to make it, something that everyone would want to use. I mean, he's not far off.
Good, thank you. Jim Bob.
Yeah, I agree. This is a very nice solution. On the things that we've said about searching all of the articles, letting me see the things that I haven't read, those types of standard filters that we're used to seeing on readers, those would be nice add-ins. But the functionality that's here is very nice.
I'd like to give also notice here that there's some things in here that we haven't seen in other solutions. Like this, it's almost like the filtered feature box here. This is actually something that we haven't seen before. And again, I think one of the strongest parts of this is trying to find some functionality for this thing he's calling My Favorites right now, which really could be something that could enhance this whole solution if we can figure out what it's going to be best utilized for. But the functionality is there. I like that. I don't mind the right-hand navigation at all. In fact, I liked it a lot because I thought it gave the content area more exposure on the left-hand side, which is naturally where our eye is going to fall when we're looking at this much content. So I did like this solution a lot.
One question I would ask, too, though, is what makes things show up in the spotlight? And how do I
Yeah, that's true. It looks like it's maybe the last 30 articles or so, but... And there should be a way of filtering that, but I like it. And there needs to be images, but other than that, it's good.
Images.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Thank you.